eyes as to what the world had in terms of fashion. So there was definitely happy times with that. Now for the emo-ish type, which is my 37 surgeries throughout life. All of them were for shunt replacement. Never had any different types of brain surgery, such as decompression or any of those sort of things. So it was like, it was a routine at the point where I was just like, okay, another surgery, let's go. And throughout that time, I felt so alone because I thought I was one of the few people, because I knew kids at the hospitals that I would go to had hydro, especially on my floor. So it was like, okay, another set of kids. We're all in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I got older, I learned about the Hydrocephalus Association when I was, I think, about 17, maybe 18. And I got to talk with a lot of people, and I got involved with the Hydro Association here in New York City. It's a pretty big deal here because hundreds of people come out for our walks, for our events, and all that.
Right.
And yeah, and I've met a lot of people. I've even met some people in the fashion industry who are dealing with hydrocephalus, if not directly, then indirectly. And yeah, it's really affected them a lot. But just like me, you couldn't tell I had it unless you asked or you saw a scar and wondered, what's that all about?
Right. How did it affect you and your relationships, your friendships in school?
Well, from elementary school, it didn't really matter because nobody really knew what it was. Nobody cared about it. Junior high, I was definitely bullied after seventh grade when they found out, I had hydrocephalus, and I did have a majority of my surgeries during that time too.
Mm.
So while it took me out for a few months at a time, it would also put me in this weird position where I was getting privileges, and everyone that bullied me at the time, they were like, that's not fair. I want those same privileges. So they would get at me talking about, you shouldn't be able to do this. You shouldn't be able to do that. Oh, it's because you have hydro. We're going to pick on you for that. There were times where it would get violent, but never anything I couldn't handle.
And
High school, and then high school was just a different story. It was a different time. It was like people knew I had it, but they
mm-hmm.
didn't treat me any different. I mean, minus the adaptive PE class, which was weird.
Right.
But, everything worked smoothly from that point on.
No one spoke up for you. I'm pretty sure your family did during this time, right?
Yeah, family spoke up for me, but once you're in school, you're on your own.
True.
Not much you can do.
And this is why we are discussing this. And I know the bullying movement, anti-bullying movement, is so glamorized now. You see it all over TVs, but
Mm-hmm.
and when Trump made fun of a disabled kid or adult,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
it really upset the disability or chronic illness community. So I like that we do have that anti-bullying support, but it's kind of too late for us because I was bullied too. I was bullied. I was in special ed from kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten on up to fifth grade. But I'm from California where it's allowed to start for your child to start school early. In Texas, they start you at 5. So I was getting special privileges too, and always had a big head. So for you guys that don't know,
Yeah.
people that have hydrocephalus, they tend to have enlarged skulls, enlarged heads when they're a little
Mm-hmm.
kid because they've had to grow biologically, they've had to grow faster than the normal person. So when you have all this
Absolutely.
water inside of your skull, it's going to look big on a child. And so I got called big head, big forehead. I got made fun of for wearing glasses. I've been wearing glasses since I was 8 years old.